It's double time here over at NA East at the DreamHack Open. Some players have skyrocketed straight towards the top while others got left behind in game one. Game two is coming up though. You're watching highlights over at the Authority. So many other POIs. Many things have happened so far at the start of the day.
There's so much action to try to cover, and that's the beauty of solos, is that there's so many people to track and follow. Rox is your game one winner, and he will be pushing his way up the leaderboard, but he has to stop Chaotic, who got second with 5 eliminations in that game. Nothing crazy in terms of the eliminations. I think we saw basically 10 eliminations for Moraine being one of those. As we hop into game number 2, we'll see if anybody can match what Chaotic has just put forth for us here in game 1.
People were just holding on right behind him. You mentioned Rox. He's just in second place. Trashy, Mechanical Mastermind here up in third. Yamzo also up near there at fourth, but it's the off-spawn fights that have been the talk of the town in this early game. One-on-ones all around the map at both Flortia, Authority, the Orchard, Caddy, Corner. Trio who got basically chopped down last time, but will it be the veteran who comes out on top, or these new faces who are still trying to shine?
And the Authority is probably the hottest I've seen it all season long. Cease, Mongrel, Rogue Shark, Agers dropping there. I think switching is dropped to the Authority, which is very surprising to me. I didn't expect the Authority to be so hotly contested. Creo will win against Aperta this time and in quick fashion. Aperta falls in 98. And we look at Umi get a gold AR right off spawn, landing on the outskirts of the map. There's a shark in Blaze, doesn't have any loot, and there's nobody else here, so not too worried about any fights. This is a nice little drop spot that Umi has found, and he might even get another shot. Yes, from range onto Redux, put him up to 12.
And you got to remember, if you're third partying that elimination, I believe it's Crims actually, just loses out on 5 points. Placement so far away. We know how long it takes Randy's to get there. Still though, all around the map, it's the same story. More people getting chasing down. Right now, Scrubs against Cody. Last game, he got grenaded all the way down, didn't get at all a chance at having a voice in game 1. This time, no long range, no grenades in play. It's a build fight towards the top with minimal mats.
And Cody will drop down, still try to escape, or at least get back down to some extra materials. There's a pepper in play. It's probably those last metal builds is why he's getting to the backside of this to break line of sight a little bit and make it hard for him to get back. He does get back quickly up in terms of shield, and Scrubs now has to fight, but only a pistol, I believe, for Cody, which is why he's playing so passive. And it is that, just an epic pistol and a common AR. He needs to get right back up to where Frist is, and I think Frist has pretty much full control of Caddy with nobody on that side. Rogue Shark also falling to a player on the outskirts at Spike HD.
It's such a brawl here at Authority, and I don't think anyone wants to let go just yet. Having 8 games, most of these times, these guys are used to playing 6. With those extra 2, you just get to have a chance to experiment a bit more, maybe try to hold your ground longer than usual. You talk about uncontested. I see no one near Diggy. I'm not even sure if he's in the same game as everyone else.
And he's already got some good loot all the way through. That's the opportunity to go over the mountain and third-party Caddy if he does so desire, potentially, but I think he doesn't have his eyes set on that. He has his eyes set elsewhere, surviving, getting towards the dead side of zone. I think he placed 13th yesterday. I think probably one of his better matchmaking open qualification style tournaments thus far, and here in the grand finals again, trying to bring back that original flair he had when entering the Fortnite competitive scene way back when with Perfect Tilt at TwitchCon 2018. Since then, obviously finding some success, but nothing at that level.
He doesn't know, but the shots did miss over from Zuki. It'll be Diggy, who now has full advantage and control of this fight. I was wondering exactly what happened last game to make him absolutely shambles. It could have been a mistake here in these boxes at the edge of the world, the edge of the map. But this is a fight that Diggy must win, get some points on the board. Now looking a little bit of a bad spot, struggling with the build, struggling with landing a few shots. He has a lot left, but how high does he want this fight to go? Not actually landing these simple side jumps. That's gonna cost him a little bit.
It might. So he gets beamed just a little bit, a small dink, 30 HP. This is still going up, but Zuki maintains the heights. There's a crash pad up. Oh, a big shot unexpectedly from Diggy. It makes that work so well against Zuki. He has no shields to get back up into this, but Diggy running out of materials right now. Last switch to metal, and Zuki loses the high ground for the first time. Gonna try to pop the med kit, but that takes 10 seconds, and I'm sure Diggy is not gonna let this happen. There he is on the wall. It's starting to be fully metal, and he will pressure enough. Tries to make the edit, but without moving, that's an easy track for Diggy.
Now Zuki's basically stuck forever in time in this game at 22nd place. People will continue and start to surpass them once we get to that top 50 situation. Crim's being able to survive on his drop spot. Did not get his first elimination, but just got one there in the feed. So looking like his game, his tournament is starting up. But so many other people to mention. Jaden Shots, who's kind of been active earlier on in the game. He got a few eliminations over at the early portions. He was top 8 right now, maybe at 7. Before we even reach an end game. Edgy trying to get into this box. Bucky around him. Skittles is going to be in such a tough spot. As long as Edgy can finally or finish to land these shots, everything should be good. A delay against a charge pump in terms of the fight might prove disastrous. He doesn't have enough ammo to actually confirm the last shot. There it is. He only loses, I guess, all of his shield, but he'll be able to get most of it back, but not have many shields to play the rest of the game.
Yeah, what looked like a very, very good start for Edgy ended up costing him so much resources, but at least he gets the elim, and it's still early enough where you can easily recover from that. The trades should have been perfect after what started off, and especially the way that Skittles was playing on the backside of that open, not really covering all the different angles. I was worried for a second that Bucky might turn around and steal that elim from him. Thankfully, that does not happen. Creo has made his way all the way up already. So early, and he's sneaking up on Divine unsuspectingly. He has his back turned.
A lot of the time, the majority of these players will mostly stream box fights, sometimes scrims of the true variety, but when it comes to solo strategies, when it comes to players like Divine and Creo, they're going to be using strats that I guess none of us have ever seen before. Even in game 1, I think both these players didn't have a chance to completely flex their game knowledge, their hidden practice in both elite scrims and high tier competition. There'll be Aliens though on top of Divine.
And already Aliens gets all the walls, almost gets him back to back. And they do trade missed shots. Divine no more heals as he tried to take shots and unfortunately got pinched from all sides. And as he did get shot down, everybody heard the situation that he was in. Aliens on the wall, and he will pre-fire that edit Divine made. And they tie themselves together. But at least Aliens has an opportunity to go forward. We're looking now at AlFN, who's also attempting his own box fight.
This is up against Iamzo, who is currently in 4th place. If he gets a chance at a second shot towards an end game, he could boost all the way up past everyone trying to win this tournament today. It's only game 2. Al, though, has a lot of control and shields. That means confidence in this fight. Iamzo on a back wall, not even really switching what box he's in. He just looks absolutely scared. The third parties will be focusing his wood. Al can't really get the wall. Iamzo's there with a surprise shot, but it's not enough. He gets taken out.
Unfortunately, that was such a low box fight. They were pretty much in the ground. And Iamzo was not able to place a stair quick enough, and that cone will replace him straight down onto it. Well done to Aggress on that fight. Now we're looking at the Authority. A couple different people. Animal, Cease. This is a fight at the top. Cease will break right back down and disengage from Animal. Animal obviously wants to get some loot out of the Authority, potentially getting the glider gun off of Cease. And I don't think that Cease had too much to heal back up on that.
Other than that, though, at Orchard, there's an entire huge profile box fight land, basically. Clicks, Zextro, Nico, Booga, all side by side. Only one person can really leave safely. Clicks in the most trouble, doesn't have shields, basically has to all in against the closest player. That will be Zextro. Nico does not want to leave. Booga, though, was just nearby to rotate, saw this going down. These guys have knowledge about where people land and how they rotate. I think he knows exactly who's here. He wants no business in the chaos that's about to ensue.
Get Zexro. This could still go forward, but Clicks will try to back up away from this, get some apples in the orchard, and then go the same direction that Booga went, right off to the side, and rotate past, because with zone coming, neither one of them wants to take that fight. Bevy's going to sneak up on Cease. Surprised to see these guys still chasing Cease right now. He doesn't have the card, but I guess they don't have that information necessarily. He's gonna go in on this, and Cease gotta be careful of crash pad through. The glider gun has been yoinked. A thief in the night, he's gone. That's what he wanted. He's out of there, but Cease is chasing after. He gets a couple nice tags, and it's gonna be a launch. He does not want to let him go with what he just stole. So valuable, but no insurance for Cease, or is there? Yes, there's a drum gun, and he will get him down. Not quite yet. The stairs are blocking him, but no chance to escape. Almost pulls off the heist of a century, but Cease will not let this turn into a movie. But throw it DW back in it again, and I think he knows what the spoils are in this fight.
The surveillance cams were on there for Cease, but right now the big bodyguard Ronnie will be here to collect once again on both the drum gun and possibly that glider gun too. A launch pad was enough before, but even if he had another one, getting away will not be easy for Cease here. A shark nearby will not actually touch him, but will give away his position if looked at closely enough. Cease, though, gets to escape. Ronnie cannot follow.
Good thing about landing the authority landing contested is you get storm surge easy without really having to worry about it, just because people are fighting you constantly.
It's like a different dimension, this POI. You basically stay there the whole time. Everyone else has to rotate, go towards the middle of the map, fight on the outskirts. We saw Diggy doing that. But over here, for the first basically 5 minutes, you don't leave. You're still fighting for a mythic weapon. You're up against the same 5 people who aren't going down, and you can still get max mats. It's a completely different game.
So luckily for Clicks, he disengages and avoids the battle of titans between him and Zexro and Booga on the one side. Zexro nowhere to be found, except maybe he's that arrow behind. Clicks is below. Unfortunately, even though he was involved in the fight, he takes the exact same path that Booga does and might go over top this mountain. That might be a perfect spot for him to stop and take some shots. Going forward in the second zone, this will be a surge that he needs to worry about and needs to contend with. Has been an issue for Clicks in the past playing solo modes, but thus far, it's a couple hits. Also low on shields and also low on materials, so many things could go wrong for him.
Yeah, he has to balance his priorities, and usually Booga rotates at the perfect time to get so many tags. Not only is Clicks already late, as you mentioned, he's so far behind on the rest of the checklist of early and mid game. Ronnie, in trying to find exactly where Cease went and just investing so much time into the wrong priorities, into the wrong side of the game, is now lost in the storm. Yes, he has a launch pad, but it won't matter if he has to use it right now to catch up to everyone else who's already in zone. I think the one advantage from this position, even though he might be late coming in, has a lower amount of a pool of health. He'll be able to get into a position to get a nice hunting rifle shot onto anyone unsuspected from the backside. He's a little bit low on that surge, just slightly above. It's going to be dwindling down fast. I mentioned it. It already dropped by, I believe, 20, almost 40 points.
Well, he'll pop a medkit, but
Is there enough time?
Okay. Yeah, he'll pop that, I think. It's a 2-tick. Clicks is in a bad situation, though, fight, and I think he might even be done. No, he gets carry. Tried to get in with the crash pad, but also drops the launch for Clicks potentially to find his way in the zone. Here's Dubs, who fell early last time. He's on a fight against Cease. He gets the full box, and Dubs has now dominated. His rival in Cease gets the glider gun that Cease was holding on so dearly to, but another one still. It's Wrigley, I believe, on the backside. He gets a big tag on a Dubs, but Dubs will go up, resets the wall so he can't go underneath and sneak up the stairs, and hopefully he'll be able to make a nice big metal box and pop these heals. Wrigley will back away, so doesn't have to worry about that, but maybe even got the mythic drum gun that Cease dropped.
Marauders here as a third party. I don't think many people want to get involved too fast, but Wrigley could be baiting out Dubs when it comes to peeking for the shot to end that Marauder. Wrigley's coming in here with a lot of passion. This man has been playing for so long, trying to find one of the top placements that he can in this game, but he's gonna be shut down by the king, I guess, of solos, Dubs. He's not letting him get it easy. We switch back over to Ronnie. I mentioned he had a good shot at going towards the zone. His medkit's been popped, and now he's holding everyone back at the zone. It's Muhammad who gets comboed down. The meme master taken out once again. Now Animal will be in Ronnie's sights. Can he land the next shot? No, but the follow-ups are there. The aim is still really good from Ronnie's side.
I'm surprised to not see Ronnie actually continue to try to pressure Animal, because Animal just launched in front of him. And if he was on top of that mountain, that would have been perfect for him, potentially to get some loot back in this game. Instead, he opts to farm on the path instead. Bad Sniper has 2 eliminations, one of them coming from a snipe that we saw in the replay in the bottom left of the screen. He's on top of Spade and Donnie. Mongrel not too far away in Lazy Lake, and there's a God nade thrown from Roet DW. Yes, it connects. A little bit of delay there on the mode, but he will crash pad up, and all of a sudden Spade is flying with him, and there's another one from down below. All those players that I mentioned adding their say to that fight. It's Donnie who ends up cleaning up Bad Sniper.
It's still fight, or the fight is developing. Spade is not going to get all the loot there for free. He does get the points, though. Ronnie is the one who started all this. A man who we thought this game basically was ended. Still has a little bit of time here in game 2.
That was insane. Fallout referred to it as a bounce house earlier. That was definitely a little bit of fun up in the air. Spade and Bad Sniper. But Ronnie will come through. Well, there's 2 Ronnies now in this fight. One of them is Roet DW. We keep calling him the Big Ronnie. That's Roet DW, if you're unaware. I'm not sure why his name is that, but hey, just to confuse us, it's fine. Another replay. It's Shade. I can't quite see who he took out there, unfortunately.
I mean, there's one main difference about this game. Everyone is on the move. That's why we're getting things like Bad Sniper in an aerial fight, tack to tack with Spade. That's why we're getting Ronnie or Roat with so many free hunting rifle shots on people like Animal. Although he's missing, he's getting these opportunities. Every game we saw in semis, or most of them, and the first game we saw in NA East, people already had their bases up and never really had to move that far compared to most normal games that they've played before. But now it just feels like it's been complete momentum driving all the way towards the south side. You know, Diggy's very comfortable down there. Right now, Spade finally finds Ronnie, who was looking just for an extra scrap of loot. And although his movement will be delayed, the launch pad will make up the time. He has one more to use for the rest of the game, and I don't think anyone's even looking at him coming in. What a perfect line to actually cross.
And while we look at Booga, he does get tagged a little bit on this rotation. He's going directly above Commandment. We saw, unfortunately, 2 big names. Clicks go down, and so did Animal. Booga will get a nice position, but Who Fishy will deal with that quickly and even it up. Uses the crash pad, but unfortunately loses all the ground that he had just earned. And it looks like just before Animal went down to Trashy, he ended up getting an elim. There's a fight now Booga will take as he realizes that D-Gen is white HP, but Who Fishy's still looking down with a little bit of a peep box.
While this is all going on, the zone is still playing out. D-Gen has to not only try to win this fight, same thing with Booga, but then move on afterwards. There's already Sentinels waiting in the fray for this fight to end, and then playing off it afterwards. Finally, D-Gen goes down. Nice pick up by Booga. His health is all the way up, but this is the perspective of everyone else. They're already working the zone. They have information. I was going to say if it pulls south, it's absolute chaos for everyone else north. Just look at the mini-map. It's a crescent of players who have not moved, who were hoping for a northern rotation.
But one mountain, one elevating point, Stretch, Booga, Commandment, and Nico are all directly on top of it. This is potential for them to grab a couple of elims as everybody rotates. We do have Storm Surge ticking right now, and I think Commandment might be trying to out-heal it. Nico will pressure a little bit too, because I think he might suspect something. Mongrel down below, Wrigley is pressuring Crims as well. That might be a potential below Surge instance. Still 3 people need to go down, and Crims will take out Mongrel. Rig gonna go for this drop. Good timing for him. He does have a pepper he can make the rotation for, or possibly use this pad.
But it's dangerous. His mat count, just 200 wood. That's what we're going to be looking for, that material type to just bully with their AR sprays. Has the peppers though, which will give him an advantage against everyone else, and I think he should use them here. 1 point, this game means so much for Wrigley. And he's popped it, he's moving, the bells are ringing. There's people right behind him though, on his wall. It'll be Cracked, who took out one person before, but did not check both ways before crossing the river. It'll be Wrigley who takes him out.
The bells are ringing and classes started for Wrigley as Crack comes off the side, and unfortunately he will fall to that, but Rig still has to make his way up this hill. Does not want to stay at this elevation given the fact that this zone could continue to pull over.
It's really weird. Usually we see launch pads, and I thought I saw a lot of people moving out, but it's been natural rotations for most of the server. Now this means there's gonna be less mats to play with during a mountain range of a moving zone. That's gonna spell a lot of danger for so many players. Crims, I know he's mid-ground at the moment. We're looking at Wrigley's perspective. Although he has mats, okay, he might be much better off now. Taking out Rezumi, now he has the full refresh. He has so much ammunition. This could be where he needs to be.
And the zone pulls off of the mountain, so he stays directly down, does not need to worry about it at all. No, he does need to worry about who lands on top of his head, because there's a potential couple people who might be dangerous. Benji Fishy's still up, Edgy's still up, Dubs as well, who we know has the glider gun and can make a rotation. Booga way up in the sky with Mr. Savage, but it's a launch pad too, so he will not get beamed. No worries there. Creo up, Commandment up, Bully too, and it feels like everybody has made their pounce over to the edge of this mountain, but it will be a high glide for a lot of them.
One side of the zone on high action, the rest just waiting in their bases for the perfect opportunity to shoot. Dubs is one of those people, takes out another player. I think that was Edge who gets completely removed from this end game. That's huge on the amount of people that can punish other players. He has the glider gun. He gets to move around. We saw him take out Cease before. Wrigley dealing damage over to Trashy. I believe he gets that elimination all the way at the end of the day. But look at this top-down view. Zextro, Savage caught on the backside. Benji all the way up front.
And Benji's on height too. This is potential. He tried it last time, but it was a little too early. Stretch is gonna try to hold on to it, but Benji will fight even on 100 ping. It doesn't matter. Almost gets the cone, but does not end up winning the fight. Stretch will continue to win that on his low ping. Now Benji needs to decide how to drop down, and he will do just that, but boxes up, decides how this is gonna proceed. It's another crash pad up. No, that's the shockwave launcher, and that might be the time for Benji to actually drop way ahead of zone and drop down off of this height, because he knows he does not want any of this shockwave launcher.
He had one more chance for insurance. That was that crash pad, and now it's gone. He's in a better position, though, and now multiple people are diving all the way down from height. I think it's Dubs, who must be the only person available to actually contest this caddy launcher, who's still controlling the entire lobby. Frice, though, is alive. He's getting eliminations down. I believe that's Savage who ends up getting taken out. 22 players left alive. It's going over a river, but it's not easy swimming for anyone. It's builds all around, pulled front and back. The low ground is completely congested. Jason, Nico, people flying up in the sky. Bully getting completely just monstered on by Dubs from the top side. Crims just pops off though. We're in with Benji, who's still trying to push all the way up top and survive in this zone.
And there's so many people trying to make their last second approaches into people's box. Zextro gets punished for it, but so does Crims. Benji's still on low ground. Now he gets another layer up, and I'm surprised he still has materials as we approach 8 zone with 13 left. Who can he fight? It's Dubs still up, and he's pressuring height. He takes out Frist, and that's the shockwave launcher down. Dubs picks it up, and he's got rockets to play with. Bully's still in this. He takes down Aspect. And now it's time to see if Benji can actually play on this. We have Paper as well in this game too, and Dubs is feeling it. You know when he starts to emote up on height that he's gonna close this game out strong.
He switches roles from a survivor to a leader and hype man connoisseur. 7 rockets. He's just wait out time for everyone to just group up and then rain down big rockets. But it's Benji who has the shot and survives with just 6 HP. Reminiscent of his DreamHack performance is the next shot there. Benji Fishy is so good at this game. Another shot taken, another elimination gained. Wrigley still surviving, but the man of the hour is this one on low ground. Can he find a few more shots? Will Dubs finally start to influence the server? Everyone's on the same layer. Anything can happen. No one's building up. Dubs is suppressing everyone. Paper's so low. Benji trying to survive. No builds left just yet. He's going box to box with Wrigley. He jumps over, doesn't actually get that shot. 1 second away from the zone. The shockwave launcher finally comes down. Benji gets taken out.
And that means it's Dubs' 5th elimination. This is a game that will bring him way back up. We saw him fall earlier in the last one, and finally now it comes down to a 1v1. Still a couple shockwave launchers for Dubs to play with, and he's got heals as well to make this really difficult for Builds, although only 8 of that. And he will fire down that shockwave at Builds, but Builds knows what's going on. He still has 19 of that to work with, and Dubs might go for an off heal. Definitely an interesting decision. Chronos might still continue to build forward. No, Dubs decides to cancel that plan, and now Builds is still running out of materials, makes it possibly a last 1v1 in the zone, but he has more HP.
It's a stalemate to where there's no more safe land at all, down to the brink of health, but Dubs has more shield, doesn't even have to use the shockwave launcher, flexing on the entire region. A game 2 win, 90 points, that's what we like to see. We'll be right back with the results as to what happened with this game. Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Shio Wager here. We're at the DreamHack Open right now, watching a bunch of games go down. It's grand final season, EU and NA East, and I'm here during break to listen to more music. Let's get it going. That's Season 3 Battle Pass, Tier 86. You know the dance I'm talking about. I like it. All right. Okay, for me, that's 4 out of 4 dance moves. I like it. Yeah. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah. Woo. Woo! 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 All right. Keep it chill. Keep it chill. It's nice. That's like, I don't know, that's calming music for me, even though it's ramping up. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to give that one a nice 6 out of 11. I like it. He baited me on the drop. Okay. Kind of nasty. Okay. Dang. For me, that would be a 10 out of 10. The rating should be on the screen, but I got to knock off 3 because that made my room stink. That was a nasty beat. There's always one of these, man. We need that pop song filler. I'm with it. I like it. I like it. That's dope. That's a cozy song. I'm gonna give that one a complete 2 out of 2. That's a song for me and for you. All right, that was me rating music once again. I hope you guys are warming up to it because it's not going away, and that's a PogChamp moment. Stay hydrated. More DreamHack Open coming up right after this.
Welcome back, everyone, to the DreamHack Open featuring Fortnite, but it really is just the Shio music review show, as we saw right there. Thank you, Shio, so much for sharing your insight on some groovy tunes right there. But everyone, we just got what am I listening to?
I don't know who that guy was. I'm not sure if that was me, but I'm not. Let's just leave it how we left it.
All right. Fair enough. Welcome, chat, to game number 2. We just saw finish up right there. If I'm not mistaken, no, I'm not. It was Dubs taking the W there with the win. But some interesting players here on the top 5. If we can pull up the top 20 leaderboard, because I'm sure you guys are wanting to get into game number 3 right away. So we're going to try and go as quickly as possible as we can. Trashy in first right now with a total of 102 points. And then we have Straw Hat Charlie in second place. I know, Bala, you were a little interested about that player.
Yeah, because what I'm looking at is a breakdown of 22nd with 5 elims and 19th with 2 elims. So nothing crazy. It's nothing dropping or jaw dropping, but he's still up there. So that's like decently consistent. But I have to say, so far, NA East is pretty quiet in terms of the top of the top. Nobody really quite yet over 2 games doing what we saw in EU at the start.
Something that I find really interesting, Chaotic, who was actually in first place after game number 1, dropped down to 12th place right now. Obviously, with it only being 2 games out of 8, a lot of players can go back and forth, but one of those players slowly starting to creep his way up, Benji Fishy, the European player that we just saw not too long ago, now at 11th place.
I mean, we saw exactly why. It's the end game pop-off, the stuff we love to see. And although there wasn't that much of it on the European server side, yes, it was there. The way he did it on NA East last game was just absolutely phenomenal. Even when he was just at 1 HP multiple times, he bounced straight back against people with basically 200 effective health. Huge charge pump shots. I think it's only Benji who can pull that off.
Xiao, you mentioned players popping off, so let's take a look at the highlights there so we can see everything that happened in that last game. Take it away, Bala.
Yeah, and we saw a couple different fights. Edgy, obviously, early on in that one, but then falls late in the game, right before he's able to accrue all those big points. Bad Sniper as well, hit a couple nice ones. He got up to 2 eliminations before falling off, and Irazumi also remember that third party that he got over by Crims, who was doing all the work for him.
I mean, the one thing I want to mention with all these 1v1s and with all these early late game moments, we're talking about Chaotic just dropping down a little bit in the leaderboard, Rocks taking second, Stride, Charlie moving up. When there's multiple different players performing while the previous game's players don't, the competition gets that much closer. Everyone starts to get really close with points, and every single game starts to matter that much more. Yes, we're waiting for that loud voice to just take control of the whole region. It could be Dubs. We saw the way he just controlled the whole game, took out not only the caddy launcher player, but then used that weapon to just end the game, drop down afterwards, and flex the 1v1 shotgun fight. I mean, if there's a player that can do it, it's got to be Dubs.
I mean, you guys mentioned it during the cast, but Dubs was up there at the top or the high ground. Emo in, he just seemed to have control and confidence the entire time, which obviously seemed to pay off for him because he did take that W.
Yeah, something to note, though, when we look at the standings and why I'm surprised to see what is at the top is basically all the players that we really expected to be at the top. I obviously was throw some praise on the guys who are up there right now, but they all fell early in game number 1. I mean, you think of Dubs, you think of Creo, you think of some other people like that, and they weren't there. This time, though, in game 2, they were. And that's why you see players like Chaotic fall slightly down, because he fell off spawn, no points at all, while everybody else starts to rise up.
I feel like in every tournament in game 1, there's people who just shoot straight forward and have a big game, but after that, the top players start to adapt, and then that's where we see the tournament actually develop.
Yeah, Shia, we're definitely going to see how these players adapt in game number 3, which is starting real quick, chat, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this break.